A honey badger mother, heavily pregnant, covered in ticks and barely moving. A family of mongooses gathers around her not as a threat, as help. What they do next sets in motion something none of them could have planned. She is moving slowly, more slowly than a honey badger should. The weight of unborn cubs is part of it, but the ticks are worse, hundreds of them clinging to her neck, shoulders, and back, buried deep in thick fur, each one drawing from a reserve she cannot afford to spend. Her steps are deliberate in the way that exhausted things move when stopping feels more dangerous than continuing. A family of mongooses finds her in the open grass and does something that should not make sense between these two species. They begin removing the ticks, one by one, working through the dense fur with practiced efficiency. For the mongooses, each parasite is a meal. For the honey badger, each one removed is a small return of strength she needs for what is coming. No communication passes between them that we would recognize. No agreement is reached. The arrangement simply works, and both sides continue until it is done. She leaves when instinct calls her elsewhere. The mongooses watch her go, then return to their own mourning. She moves toward an old termite mound at the edge of the grassland. For generations, honey badgers have used these structures. The hardened earth makes digging difficult. The narrow tunnel controls access. The deep interior holds warmth and conceals scent. It is not comfortable in any human sense. It is as safe as the savanna gets. Inside the quiet chamber, two cubs arrive, blind, small beyond belief, completely dependent on her warmth and proximity for everything. She cleans them without pause and pulls them close, settling around them with the focused attention of an animal whose entire operational priority has just been reduced to a single point. But the ticks that remain, the ones the mongooses did not reach, are still working, still drawing. She is feeding two cubs on reserves that are being quietly emptied from the outside. She does not know that at the entrance to the mound, something has already stopped to take notice. A Cape fox lifted its nose to the morning breeze and caught something fresh milk, carried faint across the open air. It did not rush toward the termite mound. It studied it, memorized the angles of approach, the paths leading away from the entrance, the rhythm of activity around it. Then it moved to a nearby thicket and waited. The fox understands something that requires no calculation. A nursing mother cannot stay underground indefinitely. Hunger will bring her out. And when it does, the cubs will be alone. It settles in and watches. It is very good at this. Hours pass. The mother's hunger becomes something she can no longer manage from inside the mound. She emerges, checks the air, and moves out across the savanna. The fox watches her go from the thicket and does not follow. It stays exactly where it is. The mother finds a wild beehive high in a tree. For an animal running on empty, this is significant. Honey carries the kind of concentrated energy that could restore what the ticks have taken and the birthing has spent. She climbs, tears into the comb, and begins eating with the focused efficiency of something that has needed this for a long time. The branch gives way. She hits the ground hard and lies still beneath the tree. The fall is real, and the impact is heavy. For several long moments, nothing moves. In the thicket near the termite mound, the fox has been tracking time. The mother has not returned. It steps out and moves quietly toward the entrance. This is Fauna, and if this is the kind of storytelling you come to YouTube for, subscribe now. We do this every week. Inside the burrow, one cub is taken. The fox is back in the open grassland and moving fast before the mother has risen from the ground beneath the tree. She stirs, gets up, turns toward the termite mound without fully understanding why, yet instinct arriving before consciousness. The way it does in animals whose survival has never depended on thinking first. She reaches the mound, goes inside, finds one cub where there should be two. The scent at the entrance tells her everything. She follows it at a pace that should not be possible from an animal that just fell out of a tree. The fox believes the distance it has opened is enough. It is wrong. The mother closes it steadily, stride by stride, across open grassland and through shrubs and tall grass. The cub is alive in the fox's jaws, held firmly, but not harmed. A small, warm weight that the fox has every intention of keeping. She reaches the fox. Her jaws find its hind leg and hold until the cub is released. The cub lands in the grass. The fox pulls free and retreats to cover, watching from a distance. It has not abandoned the idea. It is waiting again. The mother reaches her cub. She is trembling. The fall, the chase, the ticks still working underneath her fur. She is at the edge of what her body can sustain. She gathers the cub close. The fox begins moving toward them again from the shadows. Sharp warning calls cut across the grassland before the fox reaches her. The same family of mongooses that spent the morning removing her ticks arrives at a run, spreading instinctively around the fox from multiple directions. The fox stops. It reads the situation: too many opponents, too much coordination, not worth the cost. It turns and moves away into the distant grass. The mongooses do not pursue it. They settle nearby, and one of them notices what is still visible in the mother's fur. It begins removing a tick, then another does. The others join in. The mother breathes more steadily as they work. When the mongooses are finished, she gathers both cubs and begins the slow walk back to the termite mound. The mongoose family follows alongside her through the dry grass, not escorting her in any deliberate sense, just moving in the same direction at the same pace as the afternoon light falls across the savanna. The mound closes around her and her cubs. The mongooses turn and go back to their own lives, already looking for insects beneath stones and dry leaves the way they were when the morning began. Leave a comment with the animal you want Fauna to cover next. We read everyone. Subscribe if you haven't yet,